Hey guys, as always, I can never say this often enough. Thank you all so much for the suggestions and other comments that you leave on the videos. So many of the mods that I've been covering on this channel, as well as some of the campaigns that I've been trying out, have been based on suggestions or based on just questions from many of you. So once again, I just wanted to reiterate that I appreciate it. And on that note, what I want to start out doing here today, I want to try something a little bit different yet again, because I'm still trying to figure out what the right balance is between the different types of videos on this channel. I still like covering the mods, but at the same time, I still like also just playing the game and playing campaigns. And I know many of you have said that you like the campaigns as well, particularly with the cinematics mixed in with the battle. So I want to try to basically give both camps a little bit of something to appreciate. And so what I want to do with this particular campaign is a little bit of that, where I provide a little bit of both. So what this is going to be is this is going to be a new campaign where the first episode I'm going to play out basically in full the way that many people like to see the campaigns, which is going to go through my decision making, the mods that I'm using in brief, and basically just kind of going through it like, you know, a regular Let's Play. But because I like the really long campaigns, the campaigns that stay very challenging all the way into mid-game, sometimes into late game, for example, like the Emperor Karl Franz campaign that I just wrapped up recently. I love it when the campaigns go well past turn 100 and are still very competitive. But that's also not very good for YouTube, because people do lose interest in those campaigns. So I'm trying to, figure out different ways to basically kind of keep creating videos that are interesting, where I don't just lose all of my viewers because they get tired of these really long campaigns. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start out this campaign here, and this is going to be another Immortal Empires expanded campaign. So it's going to be using that bigger world map. And it's going to be combined with a couple of other mods, which I'll just mention here in a moment. And I'm just going to set it up to start out as one of those really long campaigns. I'm going to keep playing it myself from that point forward, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to condense future episodes into more or less just highlights. Also, let's talk about the mods now. So I mentioned, of course, Immortal Empires Expanded. You can see that right here. Immortal Empires Expanded is our campaign of choice. What I want to do is I'm going to be using another mod that you all suggested to me, which is the SCM team's Immortal Empires Expanded, the lords, the 16 lords that they're adding for that. And what I thought might be kind of interesting to do is to take a look here at the same faction that I used a week ago when I was only testing out the Immortal Empires Expanded, and see what difference the SCM team provides with their mod that is different than the regular old version of the Corsairs of Spite that I showed in last week's video. What I'm hoping is, and I can see already there's some interesting stuff here in the faction effects and lord effects. So, you can see that there's a little bit more in terms of a thematic personal touch that the modding team has done with him. So we're going to talk about what those differences are when we get into the campaign. And then the other mod, the main mod that I want to mention as well, is this is going to be my first time running a campaign using Total War Legacy, which is a new overhaul mod that's been created by another YouTuber, or I'm going to go ahead and call him a friend of mine. We've at least conversed a few times, named Elvin Plot Armor. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that. I'm going to, this is going to be my first time experimenting with that particular overhaul mod. And if he's okay with it, I'm going to do a separate video where I talk about my overall impressions of using that mod. I do need to double check with him first, though, because, of course, he's put work into that overhaul mod, and he himself has a YouTube channel. I don't want to steal his thunder, and I don't want to, basically profit off of all the hard work that he's done. So I do need to double check about that. But if he's okay with it, then I'll also release a separate video where I talk about that mod in more depth. But the main thing that I want to do here with these with this first episode here is I want to basically experiment and see how well these three mods work together. I am, of course, also using some cosmetic mods. The only one I'm really going to mention right here is, of course, the Heraldry Flags and Banners mod, which is a personal favorite of mine. I know people are going to ask about this if I don't go ahead and mention it now. I'm happy to say that it does work much better than what I presented in that video a week ago. I did send out a correction video. But anyway, so those are the main mods that I wanted to mention for purposes of this particular campaign. It is going to be, of course, as always, a legendary very hard and full stats. But I do want to mention that when I'm testing these out, I know not everybody likes playing on legendary very hard full AI stats, and so I'm going to be keeping in mind the fact that making sure that these mods will provide the appropriate changes to the campaign and the appropriate challenge regardless of which difficulties you play on. I don't ever want to give the impression that I think everybody needs to play on these difficulty settings. And based on my first impressions of the Total War Legacy mod by Elven Plot Armor, I think it's going to have beneficial effects to your campaign regardless of which difficulty you play on. So anyway, that's going to be the starting point. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more here about our legendary Lord of Choice. Got a little bit of lore here. It just says Duriath Hellbane is one of the most feared corsairs under employ of the Witch King, tasked with the most dangerous expeditions. This is, of course, where he starts. It does look probably like the same starting territory as what I did last time, but we will confirm that in just a moment. Our Lord details here are Lord Recruit rank +3. Black Ark Corsairs with hand bows use repeater crossbows instead, so that's interesting. Ability Focus Shot for all Black Ark characters. This is a magic missile. That's kind of interesting. All characters, okay. And then Sea Lane's journey duration -1 turns, faction-wide. Well, we'll see if we get around to even using that, but hopefully we will. And then Lord Effects, so this is just going to be for his own army. Has access to shipbuilding, but recruitment and construction are only possible while stationing in a settlement or at sea. That, to me, feels very much like the normal Black Arcs. What am I missing there? I'm sure I'm missing something. Anyway, melee attack for Black Ark Corsairs units for the Lord's army. That's interesting because now these are the Corsairs with handbows, which are a hybrid unit, but they'll be a little bit stronger in melee at least. And then we have immune to high seas, reef, and storm attrition. Again, that's pretty typical for Black Arcs, I think. Then we'll just go ahead and take a look here at our campaign settings. Legendary, very hard, and I do want to set the AI stats modifiers up to maximum. Let's go ahead and hop in. All right, and so we are starting with a mission here, capturing... Interesting. Tor Elithis, huh? Okay, well that's going to be interesting for us. Let's go ahead and show where we have to go here. So we're talking pretty daggone far away. Tower of the Rising Sun and Leonlock Outpost. Okay, so Corsairs of Spite. This is pretty much going to be just like regular Dark Elves, except for it just says here he's got access to his special flagship. Well, we'll look to see what other benefits he has other than what it already said. Engage the enemy. Okay, so over here, this is our ultimate destination. So we're talking about it's achievable within. I would say maybe mid-game time span. So what is this? Is this Warhammer Australia? I'm not exactly... I guess there's probably not a really good modern-day Earth equivalent to it. But anyway. All right, so we are starting out with the same regions as what you start out with normally in Immortal Empires Expanded. However, we can immediately see a humongous difference, which is this is a suitable climate for us. So this was one of the really odd things about the previous campaign that I played with the Corsairs of Spite in the Immortal Empires Expanded, which is that they start out with 3 settlements that are already a bad climate for them, and of course everything else in the general area was not a good climate for them either. So it really kind of made for a challenging experience, but also a little bit of a disappointing one, because you don't get that same visceral feel of accomplishment from expanding when all you're expanding into is more bad climate. So what we can see around us right now is a mix of some good climate, but also some unsuitable climate as well. And then I think over here, I've already seen, yeah, right here, we've got an uninhabitable climate. This is these are the wood elves. That makes sense. We still have the ogres here, and so the ogre mountain territory is, of course, going to be unpleasant climate for us as well. But down here we have a little bit of more area to expand into that we should be good at, which actually makes me want to double check this. So we're suitable with frozen, temperate island, savanna, and jungle. That's all fine. At least we're starting out with a slightly stronger situation than what you do with the regular Immortal Empires Expanded. And of course we are at war here with our neighbor. This is a faction I actually had to declare war on in the previous campaign because we started out not at war with anybody. But we did declare war on these guys right away. Well, in this case, we are at war with them right out of the gate. They are our only war, and they are only at war with us, and they are stronger than we are, so we'll have to see what we can do about that. Our starting army here, we just have bleak swords, few units of melee Black Ark Corsairs, Dark Shards, and the Black Ark Corsairs with hand bows. This, of course, is going to be the unit that now is using the repeater crossbows instead of the hand crossbows. I guess they're called hand bows here. And then we have our Sorceress of Death, who has Determined. It's all right. Nothing great. Let's go ahead and hop her into our starting army here. Now, in terms of the other mods that we're using, rather than using the full slate of mods that I generally use, like the Brogus dynamic campaign movement, I'm actually, I'm using obviously some of the functional mods that I always use, but I'm using Elven Plot Armor's Overhaul mod. So instead of all the individual little mods that I use to alter the functionality of a campaign to turn it into more of a grand strategy, we're actually going to be testing out Elven Plot Armor's Overhaul to see what that's like. So it's going to combine some of the things that we normally use anyway. There's going to be reduced replenishment. There's going to be slower campaign movement. I think it does turn off the tower building in the dynamic tower building, the real-time tower building in settlement battles. A few things like that. We'll talk about those as we encounter them. But this, for now, I think it's time to go ahead and get involved with our first battle here. It does not look like he's going to be reinforced from that settlement, which is good for us because that would be a pretty tall order for us. That's 11. I'm not using Cho's improved garrisons, so that's already a tier 2 walled city. That's going to be a tough nut to crack. It's going to probably take us a couple turns to do that, but it's okay. We're going to go ahead and start off with our standard battle here. If we auto-resolved it, we would not lose any units, but we would suffer a Pyrrhic victory. But where's the fun in auto-resolving? We're, of course, going to go ahead and fight this one manually. Let's take a look at the battlefield. Okay, pretty typical battlefield here. All right, start deployment. So now they actually have a... I guess they don't exactly have a ranged unit advantage over us, but we don't really have much of a ranged unit advantage over them either. Range 175, that's going to be our longest, and their longest range, we can't even see what their longest range is. I guess we will find out, but I'm going to go ahead and put our Lord in front, the Sorceress behind. Actually, we'll put her up front as well because she probably has better range. Nope, she doesn't with Spirit Leech. Never mind. All right, let's go ahead and start the battle, start moving forward here. I don't love the terrain here. We're going to have to go uphill into them, but that's okay. Hopefully it won't make too much of a difference. We are within range of a black arc, so that's good. I wonder if we're in range of a black arc. Probably not. These are probably army abilities that he gets automatically, even though he can fight on land. Okay, that's kind of interesting. If he's got black arc powers while he's on land, that basically turns him into an uber black arc. We're walking. I don't remember whether the Elven Plot Armor overhaul mod, it's the Legacy, Total War Legacy mod. Anyway, I don't remember if that makes changes to fatigue, but I'm getting more and more into the habit of not letting my units get fatigued unnecessarily, so that's why we're walking here until we get closer to within range. Now we can see them. I still do not see their ranged units, though, which means they're almost certainly in the trees somewhere. We're about to find out. I have a feeling. What we're going to do is we're going to pull them out of the trees by shifting over this way. Let's shift over like this. If I can draw my lines correctly. It's a little bit challenging. There we go, let's try that. And we'll speed up again. They're going to, of course, shift around like this as well, but what I'm trying to do is pull their missile units out of the trees. No reason to give them the benefit of the tree line. Okay, okay, there we go. That's good. That's good. So he's firing at us. Okay, it's time to speed up. He was able to shoot at us, but he had a bad angle there and shot into the ground instead. Okay, now we can see their missile units. We should be able to get our range advantage over them at this point. Let's go ahead and get our wizard, our sorceress over here as well. Spirit Leech is not going to be super useful in this battle, but it's fine. Here come the halberdiers getting shot from now both our corsairs as well as our lord. Okay, you just turn around and shoot from here.
My power is yours.
Keep coming around. If you want to draw a little bit of their fire, that suits me fine.
Dark elves.
Alright, let's go ahead now and do a little blasting. See if they try to dodge. Doesn't look like they're dodging. That's good. Take it. Alright, let's just go ahead and engage as much as possible here. Go ahead and shred them. Take care of those huntsmen. Those huntsmen are definitely a priority target for us. They've already caused us plenty of damage.
Cain is a thirsty god. The weakling use missiles. Take their lives. Enjoy yourselves. this coming. Noble born.
Alright, let's pull you back. You've taken too much damage at this point, but you do have a focus shot. Try that. Okay, why? Oh, it has to be a single entity.
Yes.
That actually makes me realize I can use the Spirit Leech. Okay, what's the range on this? 250 meters. Oh, I don't have a good angle, I guess. Okay, so this is good right here. Boom. Alright, she's taking damage too. Let's pull her back. We're doing okay other than that. Okay, you need to get out of there. You're taking way too much damage.
Cold-blooded killers.
Okay, let's go ahead and make sure now that we're shooting.
Rookie, kill everything.
Oh, those were 2 units of huntsmen. Okay. Let's go ahead and blast apart these guys right here. While they are locked in melee. It should do quite a lot to them. Okay. She's going to have 10 more seconds here before she can do another Spirit Leech. You're going to hide in the trees for now. Okay, I need to do another Spirit Leech here on him. Okay, wow, we're taking a lot of damage here. Okay, it's time to try this again. Hopefully, since we have some height up here, we can... Yep, looks like it should work. And... did not hit him. Okay. It's unfortunate. And she's taking a lot of damage. We definitely need to get the 3 of you now charging up there. And you need to keep running. We actually have not won this fight over here. That's amazing to me. These bleak swords are not doing great. Oh, no wonder these halberdiers got involved. Okay, well, we definitely need to finish off that fight right there. And up here, let's go ahead and turn around and get you on him. Okay, broken. Okay, we took some pretty significant damage here. This was more damage than I was hoping to take in this fight, but it's fine. She can go ahead and do another Spirit Leech. I'm going to go ahead and get you up. There we go. Alright, well, pretty ugly first fight, to be honest with you, but it's okay. And, note to self, huntsmen do a lot of damage if you let them. So, definitely need to keep that in mind for the next battle. I'm sure we will encounter more of those as we continue this war against guests of the Raja. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and maybe... I'm usually pretty tempted to take the slaves. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. The tiny little bit of replenishment is pretty negligible here, but I'm going to want to stock up on slaves as much as possible, I am sure. And clearly we're not in any position now to be able to attack a walled city with a size 11 garrison, which I like. I'm glad to see different types of campaigns where you don't automatically expand your territory in the very first turn. So it might actually take us a little while before we can expand our territory. Let's also just see how much military strength they have remaining. They're probably stronger than we are. Yes, they are, pretty considerably. And again, they are only at war with us. So we're actually potentially vulnerable being right here. And not only that, but we could get better replenishment if we back up into our minor settlement here. We also are only going to be able to... Okay, this is probably not great.
Cain honors me.
Local recruitment is only available whilst in the encamp stance. I have no encampment stance.
My glorious.
So that's a pretty huge problem. I wonder if that's what it meant when it says, okay, I can't see it here, but on that main menu screen where it said that he could only build and recruit in, so maybe he can only do it while he's at sea or inside a settlement. So that pretty much answers that. Let's just see if we can recruit from here. Now we can. Okay, so we cannot recruit. That's pretty massive. We cannot recruit from any territory other than being inside a settlement. Okay, that is that's definitely an interesting twist. That's going to be a little bit problematic for us, but that's fine. We'll deal with it. Now, we're obviously not going to be able to attack Temple of Gilgamesh in even another turn. It's going to take multiple turns, and that's even if they don't move another army down here, which they almost certainly will. So this is going to turn into a really interesting campaign already, I can tell. But what we're going to do, we are going to recruit another lord here. And you know what? We're going to recruit the other lord down here.
Join our bloody game.
I cannot recruit any Black Arcs yet, so we're just going to recruit a regular old lord. I may as well go with one with a high loyalty, unless somebody jumps out at me with a really, really nice trait. I'm kind of tempted to go disciplined here. That's dark, lure of dark magic. This is beasts, not one of my favorites. Shadows I do quite like. Malevolent is it's not great for a sorceress. Murderous Frenzy, not spectacular for a sorceress, and loyalty is quite low anyway. Spiteful could be pretty good actually. Tactician is okay, and fire strong, not great for a sorceress. Okay, I'm pretty tempted to go here with Spiteful now. Lure of Death is good. I'll take Lure of Death. And unless I see a Dreadlord that I'd rather have. No, not really. Not really. All of them, of course, are starting at level 4 because that is one of our abilities. Okay, we're going to go with Spiteful. This is going to give us a boost to melee attack and weapon strength for all of the units in her army, as well as giving Contempt here, which pretty meaningless probably for her, but let's do it. I'm going to put her here, and the reason why I did it in this settlement over here is so that I can do recruiting in both provinces. So we're recruiting in this province with her. Go ahead and I think we'll take Dreaded... no, I'd better take Spirit. I'd better get her magic up. She definitely needs Route Marcher. We'll give her Spirit Leech. And is it time for Life Leeching already, or... No, I quite like... Is it Soul Blight that I like? Yeah, Soul Blight is one that I do like. Yeah, and Doom and Darkness is leadership, right? It is indeed. Okay, yeah, I like Soul Blight. We'll take that. Okay, and of course there's no magic items or ancillaries to give her. Okay, so now we're doing recruiting over there with her, and now we're doing recruiting over here. I can recruit Black Orc Corsairs straight into his army, as well as... I don't know that we're going to have too much to worry about with large units, so I don't desperately need the Dread Spears, although they are shielded, and they do have a higher melee defense as well. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the Spears. Okay, so now we're up to 12, but we've taken enough damage. I'm not going to feel comfortable attacking this garrison, I don't think, even next turn with a 12 stack because of the walls and the towers. So we might do 2 turns of recruiting and then give it a look at that point. Now,
Supreme sorceress of
what do I have here? I've got growth and casualty replenishment rate. I'm going to potentially demolish that. I'm going to need money, I have a feeling. Over here, at least I do have the money building. We're going to go ahead and bump that up, and I don't desperately want to worry about control right now. The casualty replenishment rate is more important over here right now than it is over here. So we're going to demolish this. We'll build the money building. I'll worry about growth later after we start winning this war. Research available. We're going to go with, really, any of these are good in the early going. I'm going to go with Driven by Vengeance because we know we're going to be recruiting a lot here in the early game. We have no commandments to issue because we don't have any full provinces. Let's go ahead and check our mission objectives. We'll get there eventually. And diplomacy, we're pretty weak overall. We do not have very good relations with anyone at all. I wonder if we're going to get the Ogre Mercenary Camp again. It's been popping up in multiple campaigns recently for me. We have nobody with whom to do any trading or any other agreements. Okay, this is going to be a challenging beginning to a campaign, I can tell already. Now, we do have enough slaves that we could consider either one of these diktats, but I don't think I desperately want to do that. Our public order is okay right now. Not great over here. It's going to get worse. I am not using the more sensical public order. I don't think. I'm actually not sure. I'm going to have to double check that. Yeah, actually, I must be. I guess I am using it. That's a mistake on my part. I meant to leave it the way that it is in Elven Plot Armors. I should be able to what's the word I'm looking for? Turn off. Disable. I should be able to disable that mod mid-campaign, I would think, and then we'll check out what changes the Elven Plot Armor mod makes to public order after I do that. All right, but for now, we're going to go ahead and do our first end turn. Okay, Harbinger of the Distant Abyss. Entrusted with a task deemed insurmountable, Duriath Hellbane, the Witch King's fierce corsair, set sail for the enigmatic island of Tor Elithis. Cloaked in mystery and under high elven dominion, the island lies distant and perilous, a realm untouched by the ambitions of the Dark Elves. Yet the Witch King's will has spoken, and Duriath is the chosen harbinger of impending conquest. Okay, very interesting. Well, we don't have any options, so we're going to do that and see what happens here. This is obviously something introduced by the SCM team. Okay, doesn't look like anything has happened here. So that's just flavor, maybe? Yeah, I guess, okay, so that's the flavor. That is explaining what we're doing over here in this part of the world. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got confused there momentarily. Okay, so we're losing Winds of Magic pretty quickly over here. That's unfortunate. Our loyalty is only 4. Not great, but we're going to keep recruiting, and it should be okay. And then up here,
Black-hearted Dreadlord.
We're going to do the same thing all over again. We're going to recruit 2 more here and 2 more... Oops, that's not what I meant to do, Michael. 2 more spears, 2 more of these repeater crossbow Black Arc Corsairs. I can't remember. I feel like our range here of 125 is longer than it is with the hand crossbows. That's my guess as to the biggest difference. I don't know if the missile strength is any different. That feels about right to me. But they can fire while moving, which is pretty cool. And we're getting a tiny little bit of replenishment, and we're burning through our money, unfortunately. So I'm not... Oh, I could do the Herb Gatherer's Camp. I'm definitely going to have to do this. We need that money. Obviously, money is already a big concern in this campaign. Our slave situation, okay. Our public order, not great, and it's going to get worse, but it's okay. I'm not using the slower expansion and settlement supply lines mod, so at least we're not going to have that massive hit to public order every time we take a new settlement. But we do, of course, have the other punishing things that the Elven Plot Armor, Total War Legacy mod is doing. I'm going to still continue to hang on to my slaves. We need those for the benefit of maximizing the money that we're making out of our industry buildings. And I think there's probably not really anything else for us to do. I didn't check my heroes last turn, but I don't think we're going to be able to recruit any. Nope, can't anyway. Okay, that's good. Diplomacy here. There's probably not going to be anything. Oh, nope. Take it back. Interesting. These dwarfs would give us money for a non-aggression pact if they're not giving us enough to really make me want to do it. Same thing with these lizards. Don't think I'm going to want to do it, but we'll just look and see. Not nearly enough to entice me to befriend dying factions in order, and in the process making living factions upset. So we're not going to worry about any of that. We are almost even now in terms of strength ranking with the guests of the Raja, which is very interesting because it tells us right here that they're strength ranked 94 and we're strength ranked 240. And yet when you look at this, it looks pretty even to me, the green versus red. So that's kind of interesting. It does make me very much concerned, though, if they do reinforce the Temple of Gilgamesh. That's going to be problematic. By the way, before I do this recruiting, I just want to see. If I go into March stance, we could move up to here close enough to reinforce an attack on that city. That would be next turn. Well, unless we wanted to do it this turn. We have 12 units, but we're kind of badly damaged. Yeah, no, I'm going to wait until next turn to do it. Hope that they don't reinforce. All right, another intern. Alright, all along the watchtowers, a message has been received asking that we send aid to the northern watchtowers, which are ill-maintained and in danger of allowing the forces of chaos to slip past them. Such a thing would be troublesome, to say the least. This is kind of bad. If we send aid, we're spending money and losing loyalty to a lord whose loyalty is already only at 3 out of 10. So obviously we can't really afford to do that. So unfortunately what that means is we're going to have ourselves chaos undivided corruption in all provinces for 20 turns. That's ridiculously bad, but there's really not much we can do about it. I'm not going to drop her loyalty down to 1, that's for sure. Okay, faction destroyed. So I don't love that these ogres just decided to trespass in our territory with impunity here. We could obviously attack them, but we're not at war with them currently. And they're not particularly strong. They're not at war with anybody. They don't have any good reason to be in our territory. If we did want to go to war with them, they do have this region right here, which is not great climate for us. And then I believe we know that they also have another one up here, if I remember correctly. But no, I'm gonna ignore them for the time being, because attacking them here would preclude us from being able to attack the Temple of Gilgradish, and we do want to attack it before they get the idea to reinforce it. So that means doing it this turn. We have no regiments of renown to supplement our current army with, but we do have this army right here, which can join in the fun. I don't think there's anything else to do before we launch this. No rights to do or anything like that, so here we go.
Lord of the Black Court.
Decisive victory. I'm liking that. This, I presume, is still a walled city battle. It is indeed. Oh no, that's a minor settlement.
Slaughter calls.
This is another change that Elven Plot Armor's Total War Legacy mod makes, obviously. It has no walls. Okay. Unwalled settlement battles. Very interesting. And then if we take this...
What is your dark purpose? No rest.
I cannot reach to exchange units entirely.
Death and carnage.
So instead, we're just going to move to here.
Of course.
Probably don't want to be exchanging units anyway, because moving these spears out of this army into this army would strengthen this one for this upcoming battle, but it also could reduce the loyalty here of our sorceress, and her loyalty is already relatively dubious.
For the Witch King.
Alright, we'll worry about the chaos corruption after we fight this battle. We do have a little bitty bit of money. I could... Yeah, we're gonna definitely want to do... Actually, you know what? Let's wait until after I take the new city. What I'm hoping to do here is capture the city with a strong enough army remaining after all the casualties we take to feel comfortable holding it, because, well, they don't have an army over here. That's quite interesting. So I was going to say, I want to be able to defend against a counterattack, but it looks like there's not going to be a counterattack. So again here, if we auto-resolve, we can win without losing any units. It says decisive victory, but this is going to be the type of battle, even though I hate minor settlement battles, this is going to be the type of battle that we definitely want to fight. Start deployment. Okay, it looks like a night battle. This is not ideal. My apologies. I know this makes it harder to see in the video, but nothing I can do about it. I think what we want to do is we want to attack maybe from here, where we have two different approaches to choose from. I'm going to leave my wounded units over here just to force them to have to defend over here. So the two of you probably won't even get involved in this fight, but I'm going to just put you on 4 for now. Now, our main attack, like I said, is going to be over... I could put somebody here as well. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's put 2 spears over here. So you're going to be 3.
Merciless warriors.
Over here. You, and all of you are my one. So here we are. We can choose which one of these two to attack. That still gives us one more place to threaten. May as well, since we have more units than they do, I feel like we may as well force them to divide their units up. So you guys are my two, and then we're of course going to get our reinforcements coming in from over here, and they'll be able to come in right here if possible. So let's go ahead and start out over here. The two of you, I'm going to actually pull back just a little bit
power is yours.
because you are already damaged. Okay, start the battle. Let's go ahead and have you three head over here. You two stay where you are for the time being, and then you can start to come over this way as well. Now, twos over here. My goodness, I can't even see anything over here, but you need to move forward. Threes.
The merciless host.
Okay, you're up. That's a mistake on my part. Let's go ahead and get the two of you now headed over this way.
To murder.
The two of you, yeah, you stay where you are. Okay, now right here, we're shooting them up. Let's go ahead and move forward over here for now. And our twos, have we seen the enemy? Let's keep moving forward here. Back to ones. Okay, they've moved out of our range, so we're just going to go ahead and keep moving forward here.
Following orders.
Tyrant of
And that includes all of you.
Striking out.
And you as well.
Carnage awaits.
Battle ready. End them.
Okay, and then the two of you, you know what, go ahead and attack them as well.
Noble born. Dark elf.
The two of you, can you easily shoot them over there? Let's get you forward. Now, this group right here, if we lock them into combat, into melee, I'm going to blow them up here. Should help us quite a bit. And then we are taking care of business over here as well. They're running away, that's fine. Right here, okay, they are running away, that's what we want. Now I want you to try to get up here.
Blood-drenched lord. Servant of Hecate.
You as well. Okay, back to our twos. They have pulled back a little bit, so we'll keep... Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and charge on in. Okay, now over here, this is our fives. You all can move forward up to here. How are we doing here? A little hard to tell. Up here. Let's get all of the ones now on them over here. They're shattered, don't need to worry about them. I'm going to have one of you continue to shoot at these spearmen. Right here. Not a great location to do the use the magic here, but this should work out quite well right here. Okay, and now yep, take care of them.
Shall be.
Cold-blooded killers.
Okay, what's going on here?
Understood.
Not sure what the problem is right there. Over here, how are we doing? We should, okay, this is a good spot to go ahead and do this as well. And our fives, you all need to figure out a way in there. Our 2s right here, we got them running away. Back to our 1s.
Dreadlord!
We have that control point. That's good.
Lord of Fear!
Let's get everybody
Attack!
up here. They should be breaking here pretty soon, I would think, these halberdiers. Okay, let's go ahead and find another good spot to do this. Let's see if they move. They are not moving. That suits me fine.
Tyrant!
Okay, they are running away over here. We need to obviously deal with this group right here. You need to back up.
Back!
Let's go ahead and do the Spirit Leech since it's literally the only spell you have. What is going on here? You're running away. That's not great. Not sure how that happened, but it's fine. Okay. If I can lock them up here, you know what? It might be worth having her try to melee them here. No, I don't really want her to take any more damage. Okay, our 2s up here. You all need to take this spot right there. You all are locked up right here. This is good. Go ahead and do this.
Feared by all!
Okay, I think we're...
Destroy!
Okay, not you. You need to pull back. You definitely don't want to be fighting a bunch of swordsmen in melee combat.
Black-hearted Lord! Corsairs!
But we should be able to do pretty decent damage to them fairly quickly here.
Dark sorceress.
Hopefully.
By K!
Over here. Taking over that spot. That's good. You, meanwhile, you can now finally get in there.
Dealers in debt.
And you all... Okay, victory. Perfect. Okay, that was not too bad. Alright, yeah, I feel like we fought that one pretty well. For it being a minor settlement battle, which I normally don't do well with, I will definitely take these results. A little bit of slaves, a little bit of money, a little bit of experience, but most importantly, we do complete one of our provinces. Now, we could loot and occupy it, more money and more slaves, but I think because of the public order hit that we're going to start taking from Chaos Corruption here, not to mention just legendary difficulty, I think we're just going to do a regular occupy here. And we get ourselves an Extinguished Phoenix Pinion. Okay, not one of my favorites, but it's fine. We'll take it. Province secured, that's what I'd like to see. And mission issued, capture 2 provinces. Okay. Progress. Progress is very important when you're playing a more challenging type of campaign. Every little bit that you accomplish feels that much better. Now, we're going to go ahead, what do we have here? Unassailable. I'm tempted to go blue line. And there's a lot of good things to take here, but honestly, I don't see anything that makes me not want to take the blue line, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Dreaded Slaver. Would have been nice to have that for the battle, but it's okay. And we're going to go ahead and now take... I'm tempted to take Hecari's Blessing. I do have 2 skill ups here. Yeah, we'll take Hecari's Blessing and Soul Blight. Okay, and we'll go ahead and give you that pinion. Why not? All right. That's probably a decent place to wrap up this first episode here after we do a little bitty bit of upgrading here. I don't think I mean, I'd like to be able to recruit some masters, but I don't think I can prioritize this building from a money standpoint. Maybe we can. This is 1,000. This is 1,500. This is 1,000. We're getting 2,200, but I do want to continue to do recruiting. Temple of Spite.
A bloody victory.
Okay, very interesting. I didn't look at this before. He doesn't have enough growth yet to start leveling up, but this is campaign movement range increase, casualties captured post-battle, income from sacking settlements. Okay, it's good. It's not great, but it's good. But what we do want to do is he getting the regular Black Arc reduction to... No, I'm sure he's not getting the upkeep reduction. No, we're paying full price. Okay. So normally when you get a Black Arc, they pay reduced upkeep for all of your military units, but we're not getting that. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and get him up to a 20 stack. That leaves us 1,400.
So much death.
We'd better save some money for upgrading the Darkhold here. So I think we're just going to leave it at that. I think what I'll do is one more in turn. We'll find out whether or not these ogres are up to no good. If they decide to attack us, there's not really a whole lot that we're going to be able to do about it. Our public order situation here is not great. However, I don't exactly know for sure because as soon as I save and exit this episode, as soon as I end this episode, I am going to turn off the more sensical public order mod, which will change the whole control situation. But I think we're doing okay here. Overall, we do have a commandment that we can issue. Pretty tempted to go with the recruiting, but this doesn't increase the number of recruitment slots that we get. All it does really is gives us +1 recruit rank, which is not nothing, but I'm not sure it's really worth doing. I think I might go growth. There's nothing to reduce the cost of buildings. I'm also quite honestly tempted to increase our ambush success chance by 20% because we very well might want to try to lay an ambush for them rather than try to immediately attack. Roxa, I guess is how you would say that. Decisions. All right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to go growth. And no, we're not going to go growth. It's already going to be ready to level up to level 2. Never mind, we're going to go recruit. Okay. And we should have enough money, even if I do upgrade one building, like this right here. That means we would still be able to afford leveling this next turn. But if I do that, I'm not going to have the money to do recruiting, so recruiting is a bad idea after all. Okay, we're going to go income from all buildings. We need money, money, money. Money. Money is the sinews of war. We need it. Okay, let's go ahead and end our turn. Okay, the Sun Eaters are not attacking us. They are simply trespassing to move their ogre armies from one of their settlements to the other. I can live with that. I don't love it, but I can live with it. Loyal again. Very good. We definitely needed that to happen. And we got our units recruited. Now we should start noticing the chaos corruption. Yes, indeed. Not good. We got 20 turns of this. That's going to be quite problematic for us. We don't really have enough slaves to justify using the diktat to improve public order just yet. So that's going to be a concern. Well, it is what it is. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, we did not see them move any armies here. What are they doing? They're not at war with anyone else. They're only at war with us. They clearly have an army somewhere, but they are not deploying it against us for some reason. Not sure what that's all about, but I tell you what, this makes me feel like maybe the last battle was pretty successful. Maybe we go ahead and we'll start out the next episode with the attack on Roxa, which we'll go ahead and do this turn. Again, it is not a walled city battle. It will simply be a minor settlement battle. It's okay.
Tyrant of Naga.
Walled city battles are flawed. Of course, so are minor settlement battles, but we have more units this time. We didn't take that many casualties in the last fight, so I feel like no reason for us to not go ahead and do that. So that's what we'll do at the beginning of the next episode, is run up here, grab this, and if we're able to take that without suffering too much in the way of casualties, then I'm going to feel pretty good about being able to defend against counterattack. For that matter, they might even want to peace out with us at that point. Now, I don't know that I would want to peace out with them, but yeah, they're already willing to peace out. Interesting. They may not be after we take this from them, but right here's where they have one army. Well, somewhere in this province, one of these 3 settlements, they've got at least 15 units, but we'll worry about that later. For now, they have, for some foolish reason, allowed us another. Actually, can we even reach? That's the next question. Yes, we can reach. Thank goodness for his boost to campaign movement range, because without it, we probably would not be able to reach, because that campaign movement range right there is at minus 15% because of the Elven Plot Armor Total War Legacy mod. Okay, so we've got a strategy. We're going to attack this next. We're going to take it. We're going to suffer few enough casualties that we're going to be able to hold on to it. Maybe peace out with them, because these other settlements of theirs are not a great climate for us. But we definitely want to have these two provinces for ourselves. Okay, good place to leave off, I think. Pretty productive first episode. I'm enjoying the changes so far that the SCM team have made to this faction, but we'll continue to explore that moving forward. All right, thanks everybody so much. I'll see you all in the next video.